Big poppin', money in the bank coming, dropping the deposit. Having it my way, so I got these bitches watching. Steady getting to it, couldn't fit it in my pocket. Flexing everything, baby, tell me big poppin'. Money in the bank coming, dropping the deposit. Having it my way, so I got these bitches watching. Steady getting to it, couldn't fit it in my pocket. Flexing everything, baby, tell me what the topic.
What's poppin', everybody? It's your favorite doctender, that girl Henny, and I'm back. Yes, I know that I just finished doing a live where I broke down how Keefe D is petitioning the Supreme Court of Nevada because he is trying to get his case thrown out and make the Tupac case disappear forever. But I had to come back and I had to pour this up. Now, I know that this is not the normal time that I am usually up pouring Henny. You know, I'm on the East Coast, but I figured, West Coast vibing. I haven't been on Wack neck in a minute. Hey, beast the teeth. Before I put these court docs up here on the screen, I just want to take a moment to say shout out to Beast, okay? Because, without Beast, none of this would be possible right now because I wouldn't be giving a damn about what was going on in the Wack sector. But it seems like every time I take a step back from the sector, he just comes back and he reminds me that I can't take my foot off of Wack's neck, not even for 1 second. And if you are affiliated with Wack, that means that my foot is on your back as well. And as you all know, that no jumper brawl that happened last year in 2024 in December, baby, I told y'all that this was going to come back and it was going to bite Adam in the ass so hard. Or should I say that it's going to bite him in the white pickle? Yeah, I said that. Y'all will understand why I said that in a minute. Now, everybody has been looking for the police report on the incident because the police report names Wack 100. And while I don't have the whole police report, and to my understanding, unless you are a person that is named in that case, you can't get the police report. Well, they should have put that stipulation in when it came down to the court case. Now, let me get my screen the way that I like my screen so that we can get to pouring this up, baby, because I don't want to hold y'all for too long, but I want to hold y'all long enough. All right? All right. Do y'all mind? Do y'all mind? Y'all don't mind, right? I know y'all don't mind. Do you mind if I stroke you up? Do you mind if I stroke you down? All through the night, I can't sing, so don't come for me. Anyway, let me go ahead and let me just I got to make me another one of these because I just love this right here. Anyway, all right, let's spread this out just a little bit. Let's spread it like Wack booty meat. Oh, that didn't even sound right. Pause. Sorry, fellas. I know y'all like, what? Whoa. Mega pause. So, as y'all can see, Jay Reed is using the services of Morgan & Morgan. Yes, honey. As y'all can see, your girl is not fronting. I may tell you a joke, but I will never tell you a lie. So here is the official court documents for Jay Reed. And he is suing White Pickle LLC, Adam Graham Mason, doing business as No Jumper Podcast, a California corporation, and those 1 to 50 inclusive. And he's demanding a jury trial, and he's suing for premises of liability, negligence, assault and battery, negligent hiring, retention, supervision. He's also suing for negligent entrustment of premises. Now, I know if you are like me, you sitting back wondering, well, where the hell is Wack 100 Cash McElroy Jones in this? Well, it looks like Jay Reed said he's a brokey. He's a brokey because he's not suing him. However, we seen Wack name all over that police report. So that means that Jay Reed said, while I ain't gonna hit your pockets, I'm gonna press these charges. Jesus. Salute to Stand On It Media and everybody that is in the chat. So now let's get into it, okay? So plaintiff Jermel Reed is and at all times mentioned herein a resident of the state of California. Defendant White Pickle LLC owner is and at all times relevant was the owner of the real property located at 2508 North Ontario Street in Burbank, California, in the county of Los Angeles, California. Okay. Defendant Adam Graham Mason, also known as Adam 22, is thereafter Graham Mason and at all times relevant owned White Pickle LLC, including the property located at 2508 North Ontario Street in Burbank, California, and operating a business or organization on the property known as No Jumper, a podcast. Plaintiff is informed and believes and therein alleges that defendants does 1 through 50 inclusive were at all times relevant. The agents, employees, property managers, tenants, security personnel, or otherwise responsible parties acting within the scope of their agency or employment with defendants, and each is in some manner liable to plaintiff. Okay, so he don't care if you was sweeping the floor, if you was cleaning the parking lot or taking out the trash. Baby, if you was down there at No Jumper, Jay Reed is on your ass. Okay. The true names and capacities of those 1 through 50 are presently unknown to plaintiff, who therefore sues said defendant by fictitious names. Plaintiff will amend this complaint to allege their true names and capacities when ascertained. So that also means that all of y'all that was out there, all of them that was out there, I don't know if they was a part of that little IBM crew and all of that, that was going down and around out there. But he's saying, when I find out your names, I'm going to put y'all names in this case too. On or about December 26, 2024, plaintiff was lawfully present on the premises located at 2508 North Ontario Street in Burbank, California, when plaintiff was violently assaulted and battered by agents, employees, guests, and or affiliates of defendant White Pickle LLC, owned or controlled by defendant Adam Graham Mason. At all times, defendant White Pickle LLC and or defendant Graham Mason knew or in the exercise of responsible care should have known that its agents, employees, affiliates, and guests had a history of violent, criminal, or dangerous conduct and posed a foreseeable risk of harm to others. Now, what he's basically saying in those words right there is, baby, you knew that who you had on your property had a criminal history. You knew they had a propensity of violence. You knew that they was dangerous, and you left them on your property. Okay, you didn't do nothing to protect anybody coming up there. That's what he's saying. All right. Defendant White Pickle LLC and or defendant Adam Graham Mason were aware of complaints, law enforcement activity, or other indicators that its guests, affiliates, employees, agents, and or associates created a dangerous or unsafe condition on the property. Despite this knowledge, defendant White Pickle and or defendant Adam Graham Mason negligently failed to exercise responsible care in monitoring and supervising the premises while hosting podcast events. So what he's saying is, you knew these people were like this and you did nothing to secure the property and make sure that no one was hurt while they were on your premises. As a direct and proximate result of the assault and battery, plaintiff sustained severe physical and emotional injuries, including but not limited to his body and facial injuries, resulting in bruised eyes, broken nose, and concussion, as well as mental pain and suffering, medical expenses, and other damages. Additionally, he was deprived of personal property, cash, and values in excess of $10,000. So he's saying they done stole money from him, robbed him, beat him, and caused him to have all of these injuries. And this is in excess of $10,000. Now, y'all remember when Wack 100 was up there on the No Jumper podcast, and he says that he did a little bit of calling. Thank you for the super chat, super sticker, Robin. he said that he did some asking around and digging around, and he went back up there to the no jumper and he had the watch. Yeah, that's why his name is up there on that damn paperwork now. But anyway, let's continue. So the first cause of action is premises liability against all defendants and those 1 through 50. Okay. Now, plaintiff realleges and incorporates by reference paragraphs 1 through 10 as though fully set therefore herein. In other words, he's repeating what he said in the above statement. Defendant White Pickle LLC and or defendant Adam Graham Mason owned, leased, occupied, controlled, or managed the subject premises and owed a duty of care to maintain the premises in responsibility in a responsibly safe condition and to protect foreseeable victims from criminal acts of third parties. So because you were in charge of, your ass was supposed to be taking care to make sure that none of this ever happened, and you didn't. Defendant White Pickle LLC and or defendant Adam Graham Mason breached that duty by failing to take responsible steps to secure the premises, screen invitees, licensees, and monitor activity and prevent foreseeable acts of violence. Now, let me tell you something. Let's pause right there for a second. Let me put my cursor there so that I don't forget where I was. Let's pause right there for a second, because at the end of the day, remember that when this story goes on, Adam says that he saw Jay Reed and Adam greeted Jay Reed and Adam left Jay Reed there on the property. So who did he leave Jay Reed there with, who was supposed to be in charge of the property? Oh, Beast, you're back in my live. Sit down, shut up, and don't you touch a damn thing. Period. Because you missed. I gave you a whole shout out, Beastie Boo. Because if it wasn't for you, Beast the Teeth, I wouldn't be back over here running these court docs. I would be someplace else. But I'm back over here. And that's why I'm up at this time of morning on the East Coast, a time that's not normally mine. And I'm running this content because Adam is connected to your general. And because of you, you always remind me of where I'm supposed to be. And that's right here, right on your general neck, honey. So thank you for reminding me where I'm supposed to be. Now watch as I build my numbers back up. Now let's continue. As a direct and proximate result, plaintiffs suffered the damage alleged herein. As a direct and proximate result of the assault and battery, plaintiffs sustained severe physical and emotional injuries, including but not limited to his body and facial injuries, resulting in bruised eyes, broken nose, and concussion, as well as pain, suffering, medical expenses, and other damages. Additionally, he was deprived of personal property, cash, and valuables in excess of $10,000. Second cause of action is negligence against all defendants and those 1 through 50. Okay. Plaintiff realleges and incorporates by reference paragraphs 1 through 16. Okay. So paragraphs 1 through 16 repeated. All right. Defendants White Pickle LLC and or defendant Adam Graham Mason owed plaintiff a duty to exercise a ordinary care in the leasing, supervision, and maintenance of the premises and in the hiring, retention, and oversight of employees and agents, invitees, and lessees. Okay? Defendant White Pickle LLC and or defendant Adam Graham Mason breached this duty, and said breach was a substantial factor in causing plaintiff harm. As a direct and proximate result, plaintiff suffered the damage alleged herein. As a result and proximate result of the assault and battery, the plaintiff sustained severe physical and emotional injuries, including but not limited to his body, facial injuries, resulting in bruised eyes, broken nose, and concussion, as well as pain, suffering, medical expenses, and other damages. Additionally, he was deprived of his personal property, cash, and values in excess of $10,000. So underneath these 3 causes of actions, we're looking at 30,000 or we'll be at 2. Okay, so yeah, all right, let's go. Third cause of action, negligence, hiring, retention, supervision. Now, this is where everybody that was outside, we were already hearing about invitees and leasees. Okay. Defendant White Pickle LLC and or defendant Adam Graham Mason negligently hired, retained, and or supervised employees and agents known or responsibly suspected to pose a danger to third parties. As a direct and proximate result, you know what happened. The plaintiff suffered damages alleged herein. And we know what he suffered. He suffered body and facial injuries, and he was deprived of his property and valuables in excess of $10,000, right? Fourth cause of action, defendant White Pickle LLC and or defendant Adam Graham Mason, those 1 through 50, by and through their agents or employees intentionally, unlawfully, and offensively touched plaintiff without consent. Plaintiff suffered multiple injuries to his body and face. Defendant White Pickle LLC and or defendant Adam Graham Mason's conduct was a substantial factor in causing the harm. As a direct and proximate result, the plaintiff suffered the damages alleged herein. As a direct and proximate result of the assault and battery, the plaintiff sustained severe physical and emotional injuries, including but not limited to body and facial injuries, resulting in what? Bruised eyes, broken nose, and a concussion, as well as pain and suffering and medical expenses and other damages, and was deprived of his property in values of $10,000. Additionally, said conduct was willful, malicious, and done with a conscious disregard for plaintiff's rights. Plaintiff is entitled to recover punitive damages in an amount sufficient to punish and deter such conduct. Okay. So in the prayer for relief, it's for the plaintiff prays for judgment against defendants as follows: for general damages according to proof, for medical and related expenses past and future, for loss of earnings and earning capacity, for punitive and exemplary damages, for costs of suit herein incurred, for such other and future relief as the court may deem just and proper, demand for jury trial. Plaintiff hereby demands a jury trial on all issues so triable, dated August 5th, which was yesterday, signed by Oscar Rosler of Morgan & Morgan, Los Angeles. Now, with all that being said, Jay Reed is holding Adam and his business responsible for the assault that happened to him at No Jumper out in the parking lot. Now, I don't know if y'all remember way back when all of this first went down. And I said to y'all, I didn't know who was in the trick bag. Adam is deep in that trick bag because White Pickle LLC is the name of his business that oversees his No Jumper business, right? Right. Which means that Adam has insurance that's going to take care of whatever it is that is going on. So Jay Reed says that he's suing for $50 million. Henny Glass is in the chat if y'all was here earlier and caught that video when I talked about it and showed y'all that Jay Reed said he was suing for $50 million. That's how he said it. $50 million. But the thing is, Wack ain't on this lawsuit. But you know where Wack will probably end up? In the doze if he decides to do it. But even though he's not on the actual lawsuit, he's in the police report. So it's going to be interesting to see what comes of all of this once it goes all the way through. Now, what I can't understand is why the police report is not available to everybody. Now, I told y'all, I'm not a lawyer. I play one occasionally when I know what I'm talking about. But when I don't know what I'm talking about, I am just an around the way girl doing her thug thizzle up here on YouTube, bringing y'all all the hot henny, okay? I'm just a doc tender, okay? And a goss tender, all right? I'm just that girl, Henny. because I'm that girl. Beast, are you in my chat causing trouble? Are you in my chat causing trouble? Do I have to replay that video of you that I have? Don't make me pull that video out, because I know you ain't gonna like it if I rerun it. Don't come over here disturbing our peace. Now, I done thanked you for bringing me back to the Wack sector, because that means that now I'm going to be back on Wack's neck. And that's what everybody's been asking me to do. Money cometh. What's your mama's 2 a.m. snack? And you're a glizzy tender. You're a glizzy tender. Nah, it's all good. I'm just listening. I think you actually like when I'm over here in this sector talking about your general. You know why? Because I honestly think that you do know that I'm doing my due diligence, and I'm not just out here just saying stuff and running my mouth because I got lips. I'm actually going to do my homework. Now, Beast said he's going to chill, swagger. So everybody, let's see what Beast really going to do. If he going to chill in the comments or what, because I don't think he going to like what I got to say in this live. I really don't care. Anyway, let's go back into what I was talking about. Now, if you remember back then, I was asking, because I said this to y'all. Remember when I asked y'all who was in the trick bag? Because I just couldn't figure out who was in the trick bag. And I said to y'all back then that something ain't set right with me when it came down to all of this stuff that was going on. And I told y'all that Adam was going to be holding the bag in the end, that all of this was going to fall back on his shoulders. And baby, sure enough, that's exactly what's happening. Now, I'm looking through my videos because I know I made a couple videos about this, and I would like to refresh everybody. Man, is that all right? Is that all right with y'all? If I refresh your mind just a little bit? Okay. If I can't find it, then I can't find it, because I'm not about to stress myself out about it neither. Because I seen it earlier. That was when he got called out in court. That was funny. Anyway, there's not going to be anything that Wack or anyone will be able to do to get Adam out of this pickle. Pun intended. This pickle that he is in right now when it comes down to it. Run the clip. Run which clip? Which clip you saying run, swagger? Money cometh, you're a weirdo. Why are you here? You come in here and say the most weirdest shit. But anyway, you said refresh. Thank you, Island Beauty, for the super chat. I appreciate you. Yeah, I'm trying to run it. Okay, because I synced it. I synced it earlier because I said I was gonna play it. Child, do you know how many videos I actually have? I got a lot of videos, and I got a lot of videos on Wack at that too. Because I've been on Wack Neck for a long, long time. Oh no, that's the video. Now I do want to say this. Don't forget that Jay Reed is a Megan's Law contender. He's on the Megan's Law list. So I don't know how I feel about that. Okay. Is this it? I don't even know if this is it. Because I was talking about sweetie. Well, I'll just share it anyway. Come on. We up late. It's the late night. We ain't got much to do or say. Let's hear what I said back then. I believe this is when he was throwing Wack under the bus. I can't hear it. Can y'all hear it? That man said, I am happy to be alive today. That man said he is happy to be alive. That man said after he said all of that he was happy to be alive today. Do you understand? He said he was happy. Hold on a second, y'all. I remember that. The way they beat that man out there. All right, so now we're gonna get into his side of why he was there at No Jumper. Okay, let's hear what he got to say.
And let's go with this. Let's start like this. Like I said, I've been dealing with Loose Cannon and Wack for the past few months, already trying to do a joint venture with Dash Network. For those that don't know, Dash Network is a network that's up and coming. That's
y'all still can't hear. Henny glasses in the chat. If y'all okay, I already said I got thumbs up. Y'all can hear. All right. Here you go. Let me bring it back just a little bit.
How we came up on the situation. I know Loose Cannon, so I try to connect the dots and put Loose Cannon and Mozzie together and make this connection work with the new exposure show. So we're talking about bringing exposure show onto the Dash Network. So we've been in many conversations, many text messages, online, you know what I'm saying, conversations. We've been talking. We've been going out. We do our thing.
So basically, Jay Reed is saying that, listen, he's homies with the person who owns Dash Network. They're trying to make this deal go through where they're doing this show called The Exposers. Okay, so he links Loose Cannon up with his friend Mozzie, I believe is the name that he said, for them to start collaborating on this show called The Exposers. Now, let me tell y'all something about that, because that was the story that Jay Reed was telling back then, right? Let me just refresh everybody, because I did do this earlier tonight, but I'm going to run it back one more again for y'all, because there was some of y'all that wasn't in here when this, when I originally played this from off of my IG.
That's your boy Mozzie, CEO of Dash. I just wanted to address some shit with the Jay Reed situation. Jay Reed, stop the capping online, man. You had no dealings with Dash. You're not a part of Dash. I met you one time. That was it. I don't even know. You came with some people that I know, with Travis, you know. But as far as you saying you had dealings with Wack 100, with me, you had no dealings with us. So whatever situation you got going on with Loose Cannon or whatever happened or whatever whatnot went through has nothing to do with Dash, nothing to do with us at all. None of my dealings and partnerships and
hey, Muddy,
nothing to do with that, man. So change the narrative, bro, because you're capping. And I had to say it because I'm getting too many people hitting me up about this whole situation. And, you know, I didn't even go out there.
So Mozzie is saying that he don't know him, but like I showed everybody in a previous video earlier, I was showing people the comment section on this video, and Travis is in the comment section on this video, and he's saying that
yo, check it out, your boy Mozzie. See,
why it won't show my comments now. Anyway, Travis Ford was down in my comment section and said that he had met Jay Reed 8 years ago, and that Jay Reed mentored him and helped him to get his life into a better place. But that, you know, Mozzie and them, they don't know nothing about him. And Mozzie said, because I had said, looks like nobody knows Jay Reed, and you know, nobody knows where he came from. So Travis Ford stepped up in the comment section and said, yeah, I know him. Mozzie said he don't know him. Of course, you know, Wack don't know him. Wack don't never know nobody, okay? He never knows nobody. I don't know him. I don't know her. I don't know them people. But let's continue. Let's listen to what the video is saying while I try to find the other one. That they have been in communications with each other. So this is not something, it's not like some stranger came up there or somebody came up there on some rah-rah. This is somebody who had business has been conducted with behind the scenes. Like I said, look at this photo. You see Wack, you see Jay Reed is the one that is circled, and you see Loose right there in the center of this picture.
For me to come up there and just be a nobody, you know, that's just out of line. That's a false narrative. And I don't want y'all to believe that. I don't want y'all to think I'm somebody that just reckless like that and walking out there and coming up on somebody's property, not doing what I'm doing. I was called for some business. I was there to handle my business, bring 2 companies together, which is 100 ENT and Dash Network together. That's what I was there for.
Okay. So when you get there
now, so let me just say this, because now he said that he was up there. You know, he's next to Loose Cannon. The connection between him and Loose Cannon came out in the midst of all of this. And to me, for me personally, I feel like, hey, Shakia, I feel like Loose Cannon invited him up there to that studio. And I think that Loose planned on making him content. Do I feel like Wack was 100% innocent in this? I do not. Because even though he says that he was against the wall and that they put him in the Mercedes, if y'all remember, now when I come back live tomorrow, I will have all of my clips together for y'all from my videos, because I know that I had this stuff lined up perfect in my videos, okay? Wack was not inside of that Mercedes truck that was out there, okay? He wasn't in the truck. The lights to the truck didn't come on until Jay Reed was stumbling out the alleyway, and the other dude, I forgot it, Marcelo, he was laying on the floor, stripped butt bunkie, in the alleyway, and he was beat worse than Jay Reed was, because we were told that he was in a coma. So now I'm interested to know, is this other dude getting ready to file a lawsuit against Adam 22 as well? And why isn't Wack 100's name in this lawsuit is what I want to know. Are you just trying to bring him up on charges? Marciano, okay, I was right. Thank you for 420 Palm. Because at the end of the day, Wack was standing right there and did nothing. And that's just as bad as being, to me, that's just as bad as somebody who actually did all of that beating and stripping. I don't know if y'all remember the first time y'all saw that video, but I remember when I opened my eyes and I saw that video, I was like, oh my God, Jesus. They pistol whipped them and stripped them naked. They pistol whipped them and stripped them naked. And they stripped Marciano, but booty naked. You know, I also wonder if this was a play put together by Loose Cannon. I don't want to say that Jay Reed was in on it because he got pistol whipped, but why, if Jay Reed was the person that they had, if somebody, yes, you can get in trouble for that, beast, but let me stay on topic and get not getting them comments. If Jay Reed is the one who Loose Cannon knew, why did Marciano get beat as bad as he did? I still feel like there's a play at foot. I just can't put my finger on who started the right. So, like I said, Jay Reed is definitely moving forward with the lawsuit against Adam. He's been telling us that the lawsuit was coming. He told us last year that he was pressing charges and filing suit. And it looks like Jay Reed was not bluffing. Jay Reed actually told us what he was about to do or what was in the works. And now here we are. That incident happened in December of 2025. And now we are in August of 2026, and now we see the police report and we see the court case, and that is the official court document. Okay, that is the court document. So in conclusion you gonna know, I appreciate that. So in conclusion, I am on this. I am on it. Henny is on the case. Henny is on the dockets, and Henny is going to be keeping her foot on Wack 100's neck, as I always do, okay? I am going to take some time to actually reacclimate myself with the sector, because I haven't been in the sector like that, so I really don't know what's going on. But it ain't hard to catch up. I done jumped back in at a good point, huh? That's all I was waiting for, was something to happen so I could jump right back in. Wack ain't gonna come to the bar. He will never come to my page. He ain't never gonna come to my page. You know why he won't come to my page? Because he's gonna look at it like, oh, I'm gonna give her clout. Where he fucked up at is he should have made nice with me. Not that I would ever join the 100 side, but he should have made nice to me to where I would at least have been level. But instead, you want to threaten me indirectly, talking about, oh, the lady, I don't know that lady. She in New York. Yeah, and the fact that he called me lady let me know that he's seen that video where I went in on him for calling me a bitch. He started calling me the lady. Then he did that video talking about I burp out my butt and fart out my mouth. I got boogers in my ears and earwax coming out my nose and all types of shit. He was saying, we're talking about I look like I stood in front of a grill, and he called himself trying to roast me with them pre-K roasts. Boy, if you don't get out of here, you know good and damn well I am beautiful. With no surgery, I might add. Okay, Wack is right around my damn age. Why wouldn't I bully the bully? Period. I need to go get nothing done. But now if you offering, I'll take it. But I'm just saying, I don't need nothing done to my face, Jesus. Thank you, Lord, for good genes. Anyway, I guess we're going to see what's going to happen if Adam is going to address this. He used to have a mind of a 12-year-old. All I got is Apple Pay. I need Henny number for that. Trolling, not to be confused. Listen, I'm not giving up. Henny gang, is there no sound? There's sound. I'm not giving up my number. You gotta get a Cash App, okay? The Cash App and the chime is running across the bottom of the screen. Feel free to donate, okay? Donate to your local doc tender for the exclusive Henny. Anyway, I spent enough time on here fooling around with y'all. I think I went in for about an hour on Beast. Anyway, whoever's on the replay, I hope you enjoy this and you enjoy me going in on Beast or whatever, having a little conversation with Beast. I started to drop the link. I should have, and let him come up here. That would have been hilarious. Maybe next time. But anyway, in the meantime, in between time, y'all be good. How y'all be good? Remember that love is always love. And when you rest well. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace, everybody.